The vast swamps and wilderness areas of the state of Florida are home to a legend. Join Team Crypto Reality as they go after the truth. Go! For the first time in Bigfoot research history, you're going to see what it takes to be a real Bigfoot researcher. Real story from behind the scenes. As it turns out, finding Bigfoot was the easy part. The Bigfoot Researcher's Journal. Seeing is believing.
So how many you got left to shoot?
5.
5 more interviews?
Yeah. So about an hour. And then they can be getting, everybody else will be getting all the stuff together for the fake campsite.
And then we'll go out there and
We'll go out there and
set it up, man.
What the hell is that? Is that the map?
I know, right? We got activity around here, around this campground. It's interesting. Somebody saw something right in here the first night. Something out over there in the prairie, and then last night there was a man imitating a horse from the tree line.
So here's the cross section, the T, and we were down here, and it sounded like whatever did it was right over here.
What did it do?
It went ooh, and it's on recording. It's on the.
That's fucking cool.
So we were like, no, we're gonna go back towards the shorter way, the path that we come down. That's got the path, and I do a vocalization back. It replied, and then the cows on the right hand side
Erupted.
Yeah, they went
This
crazy.
is common.
They went.
Big D, can I press you for a little bit of what's going on?
Sure. We're getting the battery station working here again.
What does all that entail, though?
Well, what is difficult about it, we're doing this out in the field, and it's a lot less controlled environment than doing it like in a lab or in an office or something like that. A lot more things can go wrong. Just in terms of the power, a little bit ago, we had to reset a circuit breaker on that generator over there in order to get power to this table, and then half that table didn't have power. And we apparently had a power surge over here on this power strip, and we lost 4 outlets on that power strip. So the power
Troubleshooting time.
yeah. So we're dumping data to the main hard drive, the backup hard drive, and then other hard drives as need be. And that's pretty much what we're working on right now.
I love your computer screen, man.
It's the only
That's
way
how I work, man.
It's the only way if you're going to review stuff. Have the right equipment, have the right monitors, and be able to do it. If we come across really good drone footage, we can pop in there, and what everybody who needs to see it can see it.
Yeah, man. Excellent. I saw you guys reviewing footage last night. It looked great, too.
Absolutely, we're getting really good footage. We're getting really good footage of a lot of the stuff here. I can play you one on the screen here.
Yeah.
So here's footage we brought up of the actual meeting on the 24th. Yeah, there I am.
Oh, yeah.
There's me.
Oh, is that me talking?
That's you talking. You talking. So,
Far out.
So we have that capability to do that. We can hopefully, Carrie and I talked about maybe getting this monitor hooked up either by Wi-Fi or whatever to the drone camera.
Ooh, so we can
And
monitor real time here.
Real time would be sweet.
Absolutely.
But we have yet to work on that one. So it's just a matter of keeping everything going. Every night we have to tear this down, basically. Get this stuff inside because of the dew, because of the humidity. Otherwise it could ruin the electronics. So every day we have to tear everything down and put everything back up. And today was Peggy made a hard time with some of the cords, getting the right cords with the right equipment, but we're there now. We got it.
I mean, look at what you did, man.
And we're rolling.
You guys are the most critical aspect of the entire operation, because without tech, we're left with eyeballs.
Yeah, absolutely. we get good evidence, and we need to have that evidence in such a manner that Carrie can use it, and in such a way that it's credible.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
You experienced last night in Hungryland.
When we got to Hungry Line last night, we all got geared up, had a plan what we were going to do, and pretty much we were going to exit plan that we laid out to try to see if we could get them to parallel us through an intersection. And if they continued to parallel us past the intersection, they would have had to have crossed the clearing, which we had two guys staged as like a trap to on thermal to get them to cross the clearing
Right in front of it.
Yeah. But when we got in 100, 150 yards, we heard some stuff on the right hand side, some twigs and stuff breaking in two different areas, probably 25 yards apart, maybe, I'm guessing. It's a little bit harder to get it accurate with the parabolics on, because everything sounds like it's right in your ear. Then we decided to kind of go in there and get to the one that was closest to the trail that we were on, and that's when Chad kind of ran in there and tried to spook whatever he could get to come out, but whatever it was, it made noise, made a crack like it was running away, but it left, but we never heard it other than, the cracks, the initial, brush through, break through the bushes, and we kind of just investigated and looked around, and we didn't find really anything that suggested the footprint of a Bigfoot. But back there, we did find a very fresh print of a boot with a hard 90-degree heel, very, very fresh, in the exact area where we thought we heard what it was. It was a boot print.
So we got some jackass back there fucking around.
Yes. I believe so. Then we started walking. We probably were about at the halfway point between there and the intersection when pine cone comes over our head, lands about 5 feet in front of us, and when it landed about 5 feet.
So you're saying that there's a guy out there fucking with people, throwing pine cones, doing all kinds of shit in a boot?
No. Someone saying. What I'm saying is, we found a boot print. We don't know what ran through the bushes was that, but there was fresh activity of tire tracks and stuff down that trail.
Oh, I see. So it could have been from earlier in the day, is what you're getting at? Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I know there's guys that hunt there on a regular basis, so it's possible. You know,
this was probably midnight or so when we got out there, I think.
Oh, well, they're not out on the hunt once the sun goes down.
Right there, but when we were out there along the canals, we passed like 4 or 5 feet of those that were parked along
So
the side.
these dudes are out there.
Yeah, some of them looked like they were camping, but they were just literally parked and camping beside the canal. So that pine cone hit over and landed over in front of us about 5 feet, and it rolled.
Sounds to me like there's a bunch of shit going on. And if there's people parked out there in the area you're researching,
they were probably a good quarter to half a mile away where they were parked.
Okay.
They weren't right where we were.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But along the canals, you know what the canals look like, and where you turn, and you can cross the little land bridge to get to the other side of the canal. They were farther down, farther down south, and then you got to cut back and go.
Oh yeah, that's a completely different part of the park.
So when you
they
first,
can't get to your area if they're on the other side of the canal. They'd have to cross the land bridge to get
right,
there.
right.
Oh, so
Right.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
we can rule those guys out. That's the reason for the Inquisition here, because
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
trying to rule shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, so now you got some activity in an area that is well hunted. There's no doubt about it, man. I've got deer stands that I've marked back in there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that has a deer stand back in there left it, or was in his truck waiting to go to his deer stand when a big one walked up and hit his tailgate, hit the trailer hitch on his truck, man.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he's a retired state trooper, Florida State Highway Patrol. But I found his deer stand, and you know, subsequently tracks all around it, like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the guys can hunt in the area like that officer told us the other night. You cannot walk around at night with a rifle. You will go to jail.
What about
Straight
shotgun?
up, especially out there.
What about shotgun? Can you carry a shotgun out there?
No,
Okay.
if you have a
Okay.
flashlight and you have a gun, you're hunting and they're going to get you.
So-
The FWC is waiting for people with that.
So if there's a flashlight on a handgun, that's illegal too?
Yes,
Okay.
you're not supposed to have that. So-
good, that's good.
But you don't have that though.
No,
you
I
don't have
I
that.
don't even have a gun.
You don't even have a gun. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the end of the day, that's the total sum of the activities that
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
had.
no,
Oh,
no.
okay. So what do you
No.
got?
We get a little farther down. Okay, there's this bird out there that stayed in front of us the whole time until we got about 70 yards to that intersection. And it just was just going off all night. It stayed in front of us, stayed in front of us. It just seemed like an alarm. It wouldn't stop. It was an annoying bird. There may be some language that Jerry has to edit out of that recording. Oh no, there's a lot of it. But when that pine cone, we'll back up a little bit. That bird was there 200 yards in is when we started noticing it really. And every time that bird would actually stop doing something, something would happen. When it would stop, yapping its beak, the pine cone, it stopped, and it was shortly after that pine cone came over our heads. Then we got farther down, and Mike was carrying this. He got this. I thought it was just a big metal club, but it's a flashlight that looks like something you could kill somebody with. It's got like rugged edges and.
That's a rifle scope. He's using that scope to see out.
No. It's got a handle.
Oh, he changed it out?
Yeah, it's got a
okay.
handle. It looks like a nightstick almost.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's metal.
He's got a what you call it, Magnum, one of those Magnum flashlights.
Yeah, and like the where the light is on down about 20 inches, just like rugged, not spiked, but little
Good grip.
trying, not grip. It looks like it's meant for beating on something.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was carrying it in his left hand, and I believe it was his left hand. He was just behind me, I believe on my left side, and that bird was just making its noise. And every time we got close to that bird, when it stopped, something happened. And when we got to, where we got to, he was just holding the camera and holding his whatever that flashlight club is, and it just got knocked out of his hand, and it flew about 5 to 10 feet in front of him. It's just somersault through the air, and it sounded like as he was walking, holding on to it, just nonchalantly holding on to it, it sounded like something came up behind him and hit the handle of it, because you could hear the impact.
What, like something ran across the trail
Yeah,
and
we
smacked
couldn't
it
hear.
out of
There
his
was
hand?
there was no footsteps. There was no brush, anything. No brush movement or anything. As he was walking, it literally, you could, like, if you ever hit the end of a flashlight, you could hear the batteries move a little bit. You hear those
Yes.
clank. There was that clank, and then there was another noise where it sounded like the handle part at the end, because I think he was carrying it loosely, actually went through his hands and made a noise like he was trying to grip it as it went out. And then as it started flying, while that thing was in the air, by the time it would hit the ground, he had his hand on my left shoulder, pulling me back, and he had drew out his gun, and he was freaked out. he said some language about Mark Zaskey,
What?
but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Oh.
Whoa. This Mark didn't describe any of this shit going on. This is not what he said was going to happen when we come out here. He was freaked out. He was freaked out, and he was rattled the rest of the night. He really was.
All right. It's a nerve-wracking situation with stuff like this.
He couldn't get past what had just happened, and when it broke. I mean, as sturdy and as stout as that light was, it broke. You couldn't get it to turn back on.
Wow.
Out here, I'm gonna even go switch my shirts to my camo shirt,
Yeah.
and you guys try to find me, okay?
Yeah. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, see if you can find me, and hopefully I don't get snatched up by a Bigfoot.
We, at least that way, what we can do is a size comparison of the individual that's here, and that's going to be valuable for data.
Yeah.
So definitely, when we go to leave, you wait here. I'll run in quick, right along the fence, and we'll shoot him to get a size comparison of the
I'm gonna go
individual
change
that
my
was
shirt
here.
right now. Yeah,
Excellent
I'll
idea.
just take my shirt off.
No, you don't need to. You can leave your shirt on because it'll help me identify you. I'm just looking to see how big you are, because that'll show us if the individual that was here.
Well, I was gonna try to hide, and I was gonna try to look and watch you guys from back here and see if you guys can spot me.
Oh no, I'll nail you every time. Bro.
I don't think you will.
This is my job, man.
I don't.
Okay. And action.
So David, our former federal officer, who's been collecting DNA evidence, forensic evidence for many years, is going to apply his skills to this situation here and take dust for fingerprints on the ends of these fronds where they would have been grabbed to be broken, and then we're going to take some scrapings and preserve it forensically properly for eDNA, environmental DNA, because from all we know that their hands, their whole bodies have a lot of oil on them, and the oil would be likely to contain at least trace DNA. Do you know anything about oil and DNA?
It would be carried through eDNA to the oil, but what we want to do, we want to take samples of several samples of the stalks, maybe about a foot long each, and we want to keep them as untouched as possible, pristine as possible, to get them tested for eDNA. eDNA, you know, wherever you step, wherever you are, if you're in a river, take a drink, you're putting eDNA all the way down the river. So that's kind of what we're going for here.
And when they analyze eDNA in the lab, they find all sorts of species, and they get back to you with a list of what they found in terms of species, and then they say, you know, what the proportion of the species is in that sample, and also if something is not an expected species. And then you drill down on that part of it, that genome that they've found, or the mitochondrial DNA, and try to assess more elaborately what animal it is. And if it matches other genetic findings for Sasquatch samples, especially Melpeketchum, then that's a great victory.
Awesome. You want to tell us a little bit about what you see over here?
Oh, go on ahead. Well, we have a place circle around it. Nobody will go in the circle here. We don't want to contaminate it any further before we have a chance to get evidence from this. But it looks like they're laid out in a circle. Maybe by whatever did it had hands.
Yep.
I ripped them off. A few of them appear to be cut off. Maybe they're easily picked up. They were laying on the ground. But right now we're going to protect this area as far as evidence. But my thought is, if they are out here, this might be a sign from them in terms of gifting. You know, that they're maybe asking for a gift.
Do we make it? Are we gonna have any plans to put anything here?
Still working on it.
Okay.
We're still working on it.
Okay.
So, but I think first things first, we need to check. We need to collect some of the stalks for eDNA, and then other stalks we need to dust.
Okay.
And once you dust them, they're going to be contaminated and can't use them. So we got to kind of pick which ones we want to do what with.
Awesome.
Is the idea.
And that'll be the first thing.
That'd be the first thing, and then When it gets evening again, we'll pick up the tape
Okay.
again. This just so no. Ready? All right, here we go. More up here.
Jesus, mother.
You need a spray on you?
I need a bath on me.
Getting it everywhere. Getting it everywhere, but you're getting it out of the bag, so that's a good thing. Oh, it's so cold. That's about what we're looking for there, guys.
Awesome.
We're gonna put as much plaster on this as what we can. We're gonna let the thing dry as long as we can before we try to dig it out. And that will be tonight yet. I'm not gonna leave this. It's coming with us tonight.
Damn right.
Not gonna leave it for anything to get or mess with. Okay, one more bag, guys.
Oh, okay.
One more.
We need more.
Yep, one more.
I gotta go get more.
Light.
No,
That's
the rest of
battery on
this.
my phone.